Hi, my name is Joseph Hughes. My father here, Joe Hughes Senior, and welcome to the Hughes family farm. We're here situated in Carnew, Co Wicklow, milking 350 cows. Our old parlour was a 16-unit parlour that had probably a collecting yard only designed for about 80 cows, so cow flow was a big problem. I suppose milking length was 9 hours a day. We decided that we needed to upscale a couple of parts of the business, one being the milking parlour. So I suppose we started research at that point where we were going to go. For the two of us, we looked at many a parlour, and I suppose we discovered that Pearson Rotary was the parlour for us. Probably one of the standout features would be the deck itself. It had a double I-beam chassis, I suppose, for all it was, under the parlour, which we seen no other parlour had, and it's probably the strength of the whole parlour is the deck. We decided that we wanted to put a collecting yard in big enough for 400 to 420 cows. Come up along the collecting yard and into a set of island bars, which basically stops the bullying of the cows. At that point they're met by a set of Texas gates, which probably is unique to our setup that we have it on consistently, and it probably controls the cow flow going onto the parlour. The operator then puts on his cluster. I suppose at that point he has a touchscreen right beside him, every control that you might need to possibly use while you're milking, whether it be drafting, milk identification, whether it's an antibiotic cow, will all be spoke to you and told to you right where you're standing. I suppose everything is there at your fingertips. There's not as much technology on each bale, which is the massive advantage to us, that we actually have all the technology right where we want it, right beside where we operate. We have VID feeding, we have stainless steel meal feeders. Every cow has retention arms, so every cow can come back to around second time if needs be. We have automatic identification, which will tell if a dumpling cow needs to come in, where our milk needs to separate, and the speaker will tell you everything that you need to know about that. As the cows go around, then they just go around to the far side where we have an AI platform, which we manufactured and designed ourselves. Then the cows back off as normal with no product at all. We were worried about the exiting, but there's no issue with cows exiting off the parlour at all. And they go out through an angled race into the drafting crate, which is probably unique in the sense that it slows the cows down going to the drafting crate. And when they get to the drafting crate, it only closes when a cow that needs to be drafted actually opens. So there's a great cow flow out through it and never stops a cow unless she needs it to be done. In terms of cleaning the parlour, there's a deck wash on board, which washes there's a lot of the washing itself. I suppose the shed itself, they made it big enough that there was excess space to keep walls clean, to keep upper air clean, very comfort.
Hi, I am Joe Hughes Senior, Joseph's father. So in 2018 we decided to go ahead with a Rotary parlour. For me, my biggest concerns obviously was the cow welfare. I didn't want to lose touch with the animals. So I would have been really conscious of that through the whole build. So after travelling around, I just realised that the cows become more comfort on a Rotary parlour, and certainly in this parlour they've taken to the parlour within 4 or 5 days. We were milking perfectly, as if it was normal. So the cows are calmer, the man is calmer, so everything is working easier. Other feature then obviously was the filter system. We were anxious to get reusable filters, so Pearson delivered, and we have a double reusable filter, so we're very fond of that, so nice clean operation. The teat spraying, again, it would have been an area that I would have been anxious to be done correctly, and yes, Pearson delivered a robotic arm that teat sprays the cows. We're very, very pleased with it. When we left the old parlour, it was drudgery and it was punishment every day. Nobody wanted to milk, and if we were fortunate enough to find a good milker, he'd stay with us a very short time. So in this parlour now, everybody wants to milk. It's the best job in the farm. We actually can set the machine to suit every animal individually if we need be. So we do that for some slow animals, and some faster animals we can actually set the machine to suit them. So we're really pleased with that. Things that we probably didn't realise would happen. We've seen an increase of 2.5 litres of milk on our peak milk versus last year. So we're very pleased with that. Our meal is down, our fertiliser bill is down. And you may ask why our fertiliser bill is down. The cows are back to the field, we're getting better graze outs and we're getting better regrowth. It's just the cows, most cows would be only let out of the field for shortly over an hour, where before we were doing 4.5 in the morning and 3.5 in the evening. So it's just a pleasure for the cows and for the man, but the cows' welfare are way better. Than cows are in better condition. When we were putting in the deck, I was obviously very concerned that the cement would go in correctly and everything was 100%. You know, it was just one of them days. I wanted everything to be 100%. So we requested Pearson's that someone would attend. So David Pearson himself came out upon the overalls and poured the deck with us. And I just felt it took it to a higher level. There was no, you know, I was touched that day, you know, because I was expecting someone out of the yard, but David Pearson came himself and I said, upon the deck and walked away, has done it like. It was touching that day to see, you know, because for us it was a big day, you know, because everyone's worried about the deck, you know, in case they give bother afterwards and all, you know, and just to have his support on the day was, every day was like that day, but that day stood out in my mind. Our experience on fitting the milking parlour has been a joy. We felt we had somebody supporting us through every stage of the parlour. Pearson's done most of the deck work underneath and followed up by Keadeen then, which fitted all the milking parlour, basically the bales and all upwards, the upper section of it. We knew that we had two great teams on site, and whether it was Keadeen or Pearson's, we had great people. And as the machine was being put in, we kind of got a feel for how it works. And so it's a big help to us going forward. We're not afraid of the technology because we actually understand how it works. And Pearson delivered that every time, keeping it simple, but have all the technology. That's the secret. To have the technology, but it's simple.
Come back over the last 12 months, it's been a life-changing experience. I suppose we have time to do things that we never had before. I suppose looking back, the only thing we would change is that we would have done it sooner.